मिस्टर अमित महाजन यांना मी स्टेजवर येण्यासाठी आमंत्रित करते. मिस्टर अमित महाजन. Mr. Amit Mahajan is the Director, Technical and R&D of Paras Defense and Space Technology Limited. He has over 20 plus years of industry experience in defense engineering. He is involved in nurturing technology development in the company and exploring futuristic technologies for the company. He was the instrumental in inception of embedded development in the company, which executed some very prestigious projects in the Indian defense comprising of control systems, embedded hardware, software, and control algorithms. Currently, he is involved in the technical R&D and business development aspects of the company. I wish to call Mr. Amit Mahajan. Again, it's related to defense opportunities. मला नक्की खात्री आहे की या सगळ्या संधीचा उपयोग आपण व्यावसायिक नक्की करून घेऊ. मिस्टर अमित महाजन.
नमस्कार एव्हरीवन. आपल्याला 2 मिनटं लागतील अजून, कारण का एक PPT आत्ताच पाठवली आहे आणि ती आपण अपलोड होती आहे. त्याच्या आधी मी 2 गोष्टी बोलू इच्छितो. एक तर आय वॉन्ट टू फर्स्टली थँक यू श्रीपाद साहेब फॉर inviting me. This is the second year that I am a part of BBNG, and he's been very kind, and I feel very honored that he's given us that opportunity. Shripad sir and BBNG, the whole team has been very, very proactive in getting all the industries stalwarts at one place, making sure all the other industries, they get benefited from each other's experience. And I think this is a platform which I am going to promote to a lot of people, which I've already started. But I think I encourage every one of you to connect all the Brahmins across all their contacts and make sure that we pass on the benefits that we are carrying with each other and make a larger social cause out of it. I am very, very, very encouraged to see that BBNG session today has 2 speakers from the defense sector. One from the armed forces, which we truly salute. We should be indebted to them. The reason why we have this world's biggest democracy functioning in the best fashion, I salute and I give the whole credit to our armed forces. If they were not standing at the borders, I think we wouldn't be breathing this fresh air. Somewhere, our earlier generation realized this and put this into action, and hence I am standing here because of them, that they started an organization which served the defense. We are second generation entrepreneurs, and we took the platform that they offered us and we took it to another level. I would like to introduce Paras Defense. Paras Defense, I am a director of Paras Defense, and Paras Defense has been working in the defense area for the last 40 years, and we have been serving the armed forces through technology. I was very, very glad to see some pictures of the Independence Day parade. I am very proud to mention that almost every equipment that is there, from Project Shakti to Arjun tank and the LCA Tejas, we have pin to aeroplane contribution in those technologies. Paras Defense works on 4 primary areas. One is optical systems, one is defense electronic systems, mechanical systems, and electromagnetic pulse solutions. Now, these are all independent operating verticals. Along with this, what we are working on are 3 new technology areas which we are bringing in for the armed forces. One is in the area of drones. So from military drones to next generation drones, we are designing, manufacturing everything in India and offering tactical solutions using drones, not just to military, but also for other security forces. Where there is a drone, there is anti-drone. So we realized this together, and hence the second subsidiary of ours is into anti-drone technologies. And with this, we are currently developing cutting-edge RF and microwave solutions which will empower the anti-drone as a solution and give a turnkey 360-degree threat neutralization of a drone. I think the slides are also there. Okay, the third technology area that we are working on is related to quantum communication. That's something which is, we've heard it in sci-fi movies, but I'm very glad and very proud to tell you that some wealth of knowledge that we have in our country, Paras Defense is trying to only convert that potential energy into a kinetic one. What we are trying to do is we are trying to associate ourselves with some academia, and I'm very proud to mention the name of that academy also. This is Defense Institute of Advanced Technologies. I'm sure sir will know about it. It's based out of Pune. And we are very glad to tell you that they have developed something really, really unique in the area of quantum communication. Paras is associating with them, will absorb that technology, will add value to that technology because we have synergic technologies with us like optics and electronics, and then possibly be the world leaders in quantum communication in the years to come. So this is our vision. After seeing Hasabni sir's presentation, I was thinking, how do I start? And it gave me good chance because the presentation took some time to load. And what should I say different than what he's already mentioned, right? It's very difficult. He's gone in so much of detail, and my presentation is a very small one. And I'm going to keep it very, very small. I've introduced my company, I've introduced what all I do. Hasabni sir has gone into details of how you can start working for defense. I can only do something different, is going to give an industry perspective. The values will remain the same more or less. Maybe, my sources may be from open source media, and he is within the Ministry of Defense, so his values are far more accurate. But I will try and give you a perspective as to what it means, what it all means for an industry. Although you also mentioned, sir, that government is going to be government and work like government. From an industry, and I have been in this industry for the last 22 years, if the way government is working today, if this is how they are going to work, I really want to work for the government. Because I cannot talk about what they are doing for other industries. I can tell you for Ministry of Defense, which according to me is the most important when it comes to national security. If you don't pull up your socks, everybody sitting here is in trouble. A lot of people go and complain that, this government is supporting a few companies, large companies. They call it Big Six in the Ministry of Defense. I am proud that our government is supporting Indian 6 companies. Now, there have been times when foreign companies were supported, and this is such a paradigm shift from that era to today, where all the big 6, as we call them, they're all Indian companies, and they are giving employment opportunities to Indians, and this is something we should focus on. Let me check whether the PPT runs well. Opportunities in Indian defense, all of this now sounds a little redundant, but I will still try to put my perspective, sir. So, yes, sir touched upon this, that it's a huge market. The Indian defense market is very, very large. We are the 2nd largest armed force, 3rd largest military spender. 68% of the defense budget is allotted for capital acquisition. So what does it mean? It means 1.62 lakh crore worth of opportunity which is lying for us to grab. Now, how does that happen? That happens through revolutionary initiatives that this government has presented. And that's one of the reasons. I am no politician, or I do not support any politics, but what is happening on the ground, we have to appreciate. What is good is good. First, they started off with Make in India. So this was a challenge to all the importers, or challenge to all the people who are taking India for granted when it comes to the market. There are countries I don't want to name, but they used to think, India, yes, big market, but it is my market. There is no obligation whatsoever that I have towards that country when it comes to development of supply chain. Now, Make in India initiative gave a slight hint to all such bullish, if I may call, with no negative sentiments intended, all such bullish business strategies, telling them that you have to look at India also for your supply chain. Please start manufacturing some of your equipments in India. They went gradually. They made it first 20%, 30%, 50%, and I think today they've raised the bar to 70%, and I'm very, very glad. This bar will be raised even further as the industry starts maturing and taking as much as they have to offer. But what happened next actually gave them a big jolt, which was Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now they challenged the Indian industry, saying, why don't you become self-reliant? Do not depend on foreign companies, and we will give you business. Without naming the officer, I will tell you, I was sitting in front of one of the very high-ranking Ministry of Defense officer. The only reason I'm quoting is for everybody over here to benefit out of it. He has a clear instructions from the government. If you have to import, you have to justify. Now this is such an exciting statement. I want everybody to feel the excitement that I feel or I felt when he said this. Being an Indian manufacturer, I think you can't have anything on the ground, no initiative of yours, working on the ground so effectively that the officer has to justify if he has to import. There are no questions asked if the manufacturer is an Indian manufacturer. Now this environment, I would like to believe, is going to stay for a long, long time. But right now this exists, and I want every Indian manufacturer to contribute to the national security using this platform. And I really, really want everyone who's hearing this or everyone here to start looking at defense as an industry to reckon. Now, there is some translation of these initiatives I've already mentioned, but 4 positive indigenization lists. Now, what does this mean? Hundreds of platforms and thousands of components. The Ministry of Defense has banned them from being imported. Now, this is the reality. This is where if they want to import something which is mentioned in these lists, they cannot. It's not that they have a workaround, they just cannot. Now, I feel you can't get a bigger opportunity than that. I think it has translated, if my figures are right, something in the range of 3,000 to 5,000 crores of additional opportunity that these banned lists have created. Then comes 25% of defense R&D will be let out to the industry. Now, sir also touched upon the role of DRDO, and being a 22-year industry, I wouldn't call it veteran, but industry participant, I would say DRDO has been at the helm of defense R&D. Whether they have got their due credit or whether they are overrated, I'll leave it for another discussion. But I feel they are extremely underrated. They have one of the best brains, not just in India, but comparable to the best brains in the world. Now, what happens if DRDO does R&D? There are DPSUs who are productionizing it, and this was the mantra in the olden era. What they have done today is they have released 25% of that load. I would call it load because they are extremely challenged when it comes to developing new technologies. Now, they have led these 25% of R&D to industries like us, which means industries like us can do the R&D in much faster time, and DRDO can facilitate these R&D efforts by the industry and convert them into workable solutions for the armed forces. Now, this has shortened the gestation period for a lot of systems and given the Atmanirbharta in defense technology another name altogether. 93% increase in IDEX budget. Now, this is another, icing on the cake, as we call it. You've already let 25% of the R&D being done in the industry, and then you are encouraging young ideas by giving them IDEX as a platform. And increasing that budget year on year by such huge percentage, I think this is an encouragement for developing technologies in the country. 74% of FDI, yes, sir spoke about it. I am also very happy. But I feel the way we are going with Atmanirbharta, we should have lesser reliance on foreign technologies. We have good brains. We need to collaborate with the academia. I think the best militaries in the world, or the best countries who are offering the best military systems, the difference between them and India is a seamless connect between the academia and the industry. Paras, by its own powers, so whatever small they are trying to bridge this gap, and we want all of us to not just look at the government to get business. Let us also look at the academias, let us also look at IITs, let us look at DIITs, let us look at other institutes, NITI. There are various institutes who are doing very good job. Let us collaborate with them. They have built something really unique which is in the world. It does not get commercialization because the industry is not looking at them. So let us look at them, take technologies from there, build our capabilities, add value to those technologies, and then make our country a fully self-reliant technology hub, not just for defense, but even in other walks of life. And this is something when I think Ajay ji in the morning spoke about business brains. It is very unique to see that the current government have extended this thought process even in defense. They want the industry to form a company, which is, we call it as SPV, Special Purpose Vehicle, along with the Ministry of Defense to co-develop and build business on the developed technologies. Now this is, I think, very, very unique structure. Paras is very proud that when MOD asked 5 companies to come and give their views on an SPV model, Paras was one of those companies who were invited. This is thank you so much. This is in process, and I'm sure the day it rolls out, I think this is going to be extremely revolutionary thing to happen in Ministry of Defense. So after talking so much, I don't know, everybody must be thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to help? Okay, so Paras Defense in the last 40 years have benefited a lot. By being serving for defense is always a moment of pride. Even though you are not wearing the uniform, you feel somewhere, your hands and fingers are there inside and you are trying to do something for the nation. We immensely got benefited by this last year. When we, for our business requirements and for the growth that we were envisaging, we tried to go public. And the public markets kind of bestowed us with huge amount of love. Yes, that love meant a lot of money. Yes, I agree. But that wouldn't have come so easily if, one, we weren't doing the right thing. Second, we weren't be working for the armed forces of the country. Period. We were not doing anything which did not directly or indirectly serve the nation. So the whole public at large held us high. Possibly one of the first companies to get listed were only working for defense. And we decided then that it is our time to also pay back. So, in consultation with Ministry of Defense, and I have to proudly also mention in consultation with DRDO, we created a platform called as DevSpace. We are also a little proud that 1 year or 1.5 years after we created this platform, which is a copyrighted name by the way, Ministry of Defense also released 6 months back a platform called DevSpace. So, something which was inaugurated by them 2 years back, they also used our name, DevSpace, as an initiative. Like TDF, like IDEX, now they have DevSpace. But here we have DevSpace is an online platform where everything is free. DevSpace charges nothing to use this platform for buy and sell of products, use this platform for post or apply for jobs in defense and space area, use it as an investment opportunity for people who have money and people who need money for their growth, they can seek for investments. Avail and give third-party inspections. So, Sir spoke about a lot of hindrances people perceive while working for defense. And we realized that inspection, quality control, and the procedures associated with that are so cumbersome when you look from outside. For us, it's day in, day out. So we thought that we will give these services, we will handhold companies who are not into defense currently and ease things out for them such that defense doesn't look such a tough road to walk on. And similarly, we are coming out with a lot of initiatives under this platform, which also includes collaborating all the tenders from various websites and then bringing it onto one platform, such that simplifying your priorities and your area of functioning, and you see tenders only what are relevant to you. So we are wanting to do all the hard work, yes, backed by software, and give it for the industry, not for just for the industry which is currently a part of defense and space, but also to all the companies who aspire to be a part of this industry. So I also encourage all of you to use this website, devspace.com. It's completely free, like I mentioned. It's our payback to the defense industry who have given us everything. So with this, I will thank you all for listening to me patiently. Thank you so much, Shripad sir.
कल्याण चॅप्टरचे गार्डियन अमोद खरे सर यांना मी थँक्स गिविंगसाठी स्टेजवर आमंत्रित करते.
नमस्कार मित्रांनो, आजची ही बॅक टू बॅक 2 सेशन्स खूप वेगळी होती. भारत सरकारचं सगळ्यात मोठं बजेट असलेलं डिपार्टमेंट डिफेन्ससारखं भारतीय उद्योगांसाठी खुलं होतं आहे आणि त्याबद्दलच्या संध्या आपण आज बॅक टू बॅक 2 सेशनमध्ये ऐकल्या. अमितजी, खूप खूप धन्यवाद. BBNG आणि परिवर्तनच्या टीमकडनं मी तुमचे आभार मानतो की खूप चांगल्या पद्धतीने या संध्या तुम्ही इथे मांडल्यात. आणि मला वाटतं आत्ता जे काही अमितजींनी सांगितलं ना, ये शोकेस आहे, गोडाऊन अभी बाकी आहे. कदाचित सरांना जर आपण 1 to 1 भेटलो तर ते गोडाऊन आपल्यासाठी ओपन होईल. आणि मला असं वाटतं सर की नक्कीच आजच्या या परिवर्तनमधनं काही जण आपल्याबरोबर नक्की कनेक्ट होतील आणि काही संधी रूपांतरित करतील आणि ते खरं आमचं यश असेल. परत जाता जाता एकदा तुमचं मी धन्यवाद मानतो. मला फार आनंद होतोय की आज अशा याच्यामध्ये काम करणाऱ्या माणसांचे आभार मानण्याची संधी मला मिळाली. सर तुमचे परत एकदा आभार आणि लेफ्टनंटजी तुमचे सुद्धा धन्यवाद.
विषय सूचित नसलेला एक विषय मी मुद्दाम सांगतो. आत्ता आपले लेफ्टनंट हसबनीसांनी डिफेन्समधल्या अपॉर्च्युनिटीजबद्दल बोललं. त्यानंतर अमित महाजन, आम्ही ॲटनरीमध्ये थोडासा बदल हेतुपुरस्सर करायला लावला की एकदा डिफेन्स विषय घेतला आहे, एकदा संरक्षण विषय घेतला तर त्याला जोडूनच अमितजींना आम्ही बोलवलं. त्यांचा परिचय देण्यात आला तेव्हा मी नव्हतो सभागृहात, त्यामुळं कदाचित परिचय मला माहिती आहे तो दिला नसेल म्हणून मी सांगू इच्छितो की हा मराठी ब्राह्मणाचा मुलगा दादरमध्ये वाढलेला, यानं जेव्हा देशाला आवाहन केलं की मी डिफेन्सच्या क्षेत्रात एक कंपनी काढलेली आहे आणि बायकोच्या साथीनं, बेंगलोर बेस ब्राह्मणाच्या मुलीच्या साथीनं मी मोठी भरारी घेऊ इच्छितो, तेव्हा मला भांडवलाची कमी आहे. तेव्हा माझ्या कंपनीचा शेअर 175 रुपयाला मी विकू इच्छितो. आणि त्यावेळी यांचा इशू प्रचंड ओव्हर सबस्क्राईब झाला आणि 5100 कोटी रुपये भारतातल्या नागरिकांनी अमितच्या पाठीशी उभा केले. त्यांनी अत्यंत हंबली हे सांगायचा प्रयत्न केला की येस, लॉट ऑफ लव वॉज expressed by people. So I request all to give him round of applause to him and Shilpa both. I would like to congratulate both, कारण माझ्या आयुष्यात माहिती असलेली ही एवढी मोठी अचीवमेंट आहे की खूप मनापासून कौतुक करण्यासारखा विषय आहे. धन्यवाद.